but I could build so much around that functional transaction, right?
Yep.
So I've got a friend, he and his wife create a super warm, loving, welcoming, nice environment in their home. And they're fairly well off, but they're super humble people. And everybody comes in and goes, this coffee that you guys, it's amazing. It's the best coffee on the planet. And they just go on and on. It's better than Starbucks. It's better than anything I've had. And they'll be like, I got to know the secret. And he's like, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. And they're like, no, come on. Like, where are you ordering this? Are you shipping it straight in from Colombia or what? And he'll hold up the red Folgers Classic. Wow. It's not the coffee. It's everything he and his wife have created around that you assume.
This is in their home.
This is in their home.
Yeah.
That it must be this really rich, rare, expensive, premium coffee because it's not the coffee.
Nope.
It's the experience I'm having.
Well, it's not, and the experience is a byproduct of their intentionality.
Mm-hmm.
That is the one, I believe, that's actually I believe is one of the critical hinges of life. But it's definitely a critical hinge of businesses as we're trying to like be the best and do all this, and we want to deliver on time, and we want to like manufacture and hold our inventory and all this stuff. It ultimately comes down to the intentionality of the individual in every single aspect of the business and the intention they choose to set every day. So they've chosen to create a coffee experience versus pour you a cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And that was their intention.
Yeah, they intentionally make you feel so loved that you assume it's a premium coffee.
That's right.
Right.
Because it is from what you described, they have like thought out, they've kind of, what's funny is the first O is orchestrate. Mm-hmm. They have orchestrated what they believe could make this an impactful thing versus a functional thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's like, I mean, I hope we all have those friends who just show up in that way, what we think is naturally, but I think is intentional. I've got a business associate that I've known for years that we've established a closer friendship through just greater frequency through a business association. And I shared with that, like it's EO. I know I love C12 too, but I'm a member of EO as well. And I happen to be the president of the San Antonio chapter.
Cool.
And so we were celebrating a woman by the name of Ann Deacon here in San Antonio. She started her own staffing talent agency, Deacon Recruiting, back 28 years ago. Phenomenal human. Well, she's on the board of directors with me. And we hosted the board for a kind of kickoff in June at my house, July at my house. And not only did she bring a bottle of wine to dinner, which my wife appreciated, about 5 days later, we got a beautifully handwritten thank you note that talked about the graciousness of us opening our house, the warmth of the home, and how incredible the beef tenderloin is,1whatever. Okay. So I thought, wow, that doesn't surprise me from her. She's just, that's how she shows up. Well, 2 months later, I had an event for the entire chapter. It was called Pancakes with the President. And we did a 7:30 event at my house, AM, where me and one of my board members, we cooked pancakes on the Blackstone. Had about 50 people there. It was fun, pleasant, kind of kicked off the year, talked about stuff, everything. She was one of 50. She was one of 50. Mm-hmm. Guess what happened 5 days later? A handwritten thank you note, beautiful stationery, how delightful it was. The specificity of it was, to host a 7:30, but then to cook pancakes, which were delicious. I mean, it was not like, hey, thanks for our dinner. Like the thank you notes I would write as a kid, like, thank you for the train. I really liked it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I asked her about it. I said, is that a habit? She said, it is habit, but I have to make myself do it. Mm-hmm. They're not going to write themselves if I don't have stationery, and so you see where I'm going with this is that,
gotta set yourself up.
That it's kind of like, I try to stay healthy, but my goal is never to have like a 6-pack, because I mean, I don't want to say it's not possible, but it's definitely, I'm not going to give up the fries. But anyway, all that is to say though, is I used to think people my age that were fit were just always that way, or like had 6-pack.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you look at their behavior, they actually are doing the work to get it. It's not just genetics. Now, I know there's predisposition, stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a very long, winding answer going back to this whole principle of intentionality.
Mm-hmm.
And the challenge is you're accountable for your intentionality and your behavior, and I'm accountable for my intentionality and my behavior. When we're business leaders, we're accountable for 3, 4, 10, 100, 1,000, thousands of individuals' intentionality and their behavior, because their intentionality and their behavior every day is going to determine what the enterprise, organization, the organism creates that day. And if you don't have a process in place to make it more intentional and aligned with your brand values, then you're just saying, hey, maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of A Leader's Journey podcast. If you enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up and remember to subscribe to our channel.